Welcome to week 2 of How to Be Your Best When Life Brings the Worst. I'm Steve Abma, and I'm a registered psychotherapist. I put together this webinar series to give you 4 easy-to-learn tools to help you navigate whatever difficult circumstances you're going through right now. They're simple, they're powerful, and I hope that with enough practice, they'll become habits for your life, so that not only will you be able to navigate this situation, but future situations as well, in a way that makes you feel like you're being the best version of you. In week 1, we explored a specific situation that you want to handle better. Something important to you, whether it's how you're treating some people around you or how you're treating yourself, or any situation that you'd like to handle better right now. We took a few moments to write that situation down. Here's what I came up with for me. As this pandemic is wearing on, I'm feeling like I'm not using my time all that wisely. I'm spending more time worrying about the future, all the what-if scenarios. I'm procrastinating on home projects. I'm going to bed later than I'd like to. And I'm not spending enough time resting or taking care of my health, or doing as much activities with my family as I'd like. And if you haven't yet, I invite you to grab a notepad or something to write on and hit pause and think about a situation that you'd like to handle more effectively. The second exercise that we worked on last week was to imagine yourself handling the situation that you want to work on in a way that makes you feel like you're being the best version of you. What specific things would you be doing in the situation that you're not able to do now, but if you were able to do, you'd look back on this time and feel really good about how you're handling it. And again, here's what I came up with in terms of being able to handle my free time in more meaningful ways. And as you look at my list, you'll notice that the behaviors are very specific, concrete steps that I would take that would move me toward that value of spending free time in more meaningful ways. And just a quick note about that as well. Your idea of your best self is going to be different than mine or anybody else's. It's not so much about what you should be doing or what kind of person you should be. It's a reflection of deep down who you really are, what you value, and the kind of life you want to live, what really is important to you. So take a moment if you haven't yet and complete the Imagining Being My Best Self activity. So now you've described a difficult situation that you're going through that you'd like to handle better. And you've also identified specific things that you'd be doing that would show that you're handling in a way that makes you feel like you're being your best self. And for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to teach you 4 skills that are going to help you with this situation to reach your goals of being the best version of you, regardless of the thoughts and the feelings that you may be having as you go through this challenging time. And here are the 4 skills. And these skills spell the acronym BEST, to make them easy to remember when you're practicing them or when you're in a stressful situation. These skills can be used at any time in any order. You can use 1 or more or all 4. However you choose to use them, they're designed to get you unstuck and get you moving in the direction that you want to go. The 4 skills are breathe, where you can stop, pause, calm your mind and body. Acknowledge your emotions. Give yourself permission to be a human being who has thoughts and feelings about the stressful situation they're going through. Set your compass. Ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be in this situation? And then take action. Do something that helps you be more like that person that you want to be, the best version of you. So let's start with the first skill, breathe. In times of ongoing stress, the nervous system becomes overactive, creating tension in the muscles and racing thoughts in the mind as it's trying to solve the problem. But in this state of tension, the body gets more and more stressed and the mind becomes more and more agitated, and the system begins to get more rigid and more stretched, kind of like this elastic band. As we get more stressed, we become more rigid and more tense. And at some point, we lose the ability to act and think in ways we really want to because we're so stressed. When we notice this feeling, what we need to do is slow down our breathing. And what that does is it brings oxygen to the brain and the body, and it relaxes the mind, it relaxes the muscles. And now what we've got is the ability to be flexible and the ability to think more clearly and act more freely in what we do and what we say in response to that stressful situation. Instead of a stress response where we're totally at our wits' end, our muscles are tight, our brain isn't functioning properly, bringing more oxygen allows us to experience a relaxation response. Our body can be loose and our mind can do the thinking that we need it to do so that we can be the best version of ourselves as we're responding to that challenging situation. So now let's take some slow, deep breaths to relax the body and engage the mind. You can find a comfortable chair or you can stand while you're doing this. Put your arms at your side or on your lap or on your belly, whatever's most comfortable for you. Just get comfortable. You can press your feet in the floor as well to get a solid feeling in the body. That's kind of a nice feeling as well as you're relaxing the body. It also feels a bit solid, but not tense, but kind of strong and secure. So pressing our feet in the ground, we're going to breathe in with our nostrils for a count of 4. And we're going to imagine the oxygen filling the lower diaphragm. And then we're going to do a slow, controlled breath out with our mouth, as if you're trying to blow out one candle at a time on a birthday cake. So in for 4, really imagine the oxygen filling the lungs, and then out for 8. Let's try that together now. So what was that like for you? That was just 3 times. And what I'd like you to try this week is every day, do 5 breaths in and out in the morning, 5 at noon, and 5 at night. So in the morning, 5 in breaths and 5 out breaths, and at noon and at nighttime. But also, anytime you're noticing feelings of stress, plant your feet into the floor or grab a seat somewhere and do the same thing. If you want to do just 1 or 2, or you can do all 5. Breathe in with your nostrils slowly, fill the lungs, and breathe out for an 8 count with your mouth slowly and in a controlled way. That's it for this week. And if you want to share your experience with this breathing exercise with the rest of us, you can join our Facebook group and post your experiences with this skill or any other skill that you're learning. I've also included a link down below to an article that explains why this 4 in and 8 out breathing calms the body, but really engages the mind at the same time and helps us think more clearly when we're in a stressful situation. Next week, I'm going to add a second skill. We're going to talk about emotions and how to make room for them when they show up, whether it's sadness or anxiety or frustration. How to actually engage with those thoughts and feelings we'd rather avoid, and to actually learn from them rather than get all caught up in struggling with them, or rather than just ignoring them. There's a way that we can actually engage with them so that they don't actually get in the way, and we can continue to respond to stress in a way that makes us feel like we're being our best, even when times feel like the worst. We'll see you next week.